Angelo's the type of person that walks around and just makes fun of every single person that he sees that is in a fucked up situation. He sees the homeless person on the corner over there and he laughs. He sees the people that are drinking way too much every single weekend. He looks at them with disdain and he just says, ugh, how could you do that? He looks at the stoner and says, huh, fuck that. Not realizing that in a different situation that could be him. If only he knew. Aurelius said that we get our worth from what we devote our energy to. He understood that these people that are addicted, it's not their fault. And so he developed compassion for people in a way that Angelo never could. I remember one of my craziest acid trips, because I used to take LSD. I went to school in New York, and even after I left New York, I came back home and I would still take acid. So one day, and I believe this is one of my last trips, I decided to take it. And when I took it, I had one of the craziest visions. You'll never believe what happened to me. So here I am in this situation where I'm taking LSD and I get a flashback from when I'm back in New York City. And when I'm in New York, I see this lady and she's walking her child. And I get to be in the perspective of the child. So here I am, in my mind, I'm this child. And then I see this homeless man on the corner over there. And he's begging for money, he's doing whatever he can, but he's just lying down, wishing that his life could be better. And as the mother walks by, she kind of shields her child's eyes. And so that's me right now. She shields my eyes from the homeless person. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's just part of the world. It's part of what's there. I don't know why she's trying to shield me from it. But in that moment that I was shielded like that, I was transported into his body now. And now I see myself as the homeless person. And I see the mother. And I see the child. And I see the life that they have. And I wish that mine could be like that. And then, like that, I'm transported back. And now I'm into the mother's perspective. And this entire experience completely blew my mind. Because it opened me up to the fact that we are these other people. Even the people that you're making fun of, even the people that you look at and you look down upon them, that's you. You're just not connected. And maybe, you came from a religious background or whatever it is, but bottom line, moral of the story is this. You are that person. And so, for example, when you give somebody money, you're not giving to this other person, you're giving to yourself. I didn't understand that at the time, and so I was selfish and I lived a selfish life. And I used to look at all the people that did these things way too much, like drinking and smoking, and I would look down on them. How twisted could that be? And then you find yourself in that situation where you're drinking too much and you're smoking too much and people are looking down on you. How twisted can that be? And so my realization came when I had that moment in that trip, and it forever changed my life. I remember one time I was at this work event, and while I was at this event, it was 9 a.m. It was a field day for work. We were literally going to go to a field and play some kickball and just do random fun shit like that for work. So here I am at this event. I just pulled up. I arrived in my car. And when I get in there, I'm looking at two people. And when I look at them, it looked like they popped something. And then they cheered their drinks. And then they started drinking like a high noon. Mind you, it was 9 or 10 a.m. in the morning. My first instinct was to judge them. My second instinct was to understand them. And how could I understand them? Because I was there. That was me. And so in a way, that's still me. Even as you go about your self-improvement journey, you can't forget where you came from. That's the most important thing. You have to always stay in tune with the former version of yourself, because otherwise you lose compassion for people. And compassion is crucial. My main theory is this. Depression, as well as addiction, mental affliction, all of these things, they make you stronger. But especially addiction. Because here's the thing, the people that are addicted, they're the most committed. Have you ever seen somebody that needs alcohol before the store closes? They will get it done no matter what. More than you when you're going to work, trying to sweep the floors, they're going to go get their alcohol because they're committed to something. They're committed to not staying sober. Yeah, sure, that's a bad thing in and of itself. But the idea is that they are committed. And you have a commitment to yourself to be the best version of yourself. And so addicts are really one of the strongest minded people. People look at them and they say, wow, that's a weak person. How could they become addicted to something? How could they not? So I understand how you feel when you can't overcome an addiction that you have, because first of all, who put it in front of you? Did you choose your environment, or was your environment chosen for you? You didn't choose to grow up where you did you? You didn't choose to have the influences that you had, did you? You didn't choose where you went to high school, and you didn't choose who you stayed friends with after high school. It kind of just happened. And so I don't even blame you for the situation that you're in if you're addicted to something, but understand that you have more power than most people have, because you're willing to do whatever it takes to get your fix. The only problem is you're putting it in the wrong lane. You're devoting your energy to the wrong thing when you could be doing it with something that's so much more positive. It's all about transferring what you're doing into something else, into a different lane, so that you can be successful. Bottom line is, people that are addicted are strong as fuck. Because guess what? They won't give up until they get what they want. You have that in you, and that's powerful. So if you feel bad because you're addicted to something, that's a good thing. You should feel bad. You should feel shitty about yourself, but on the other side of that is strength and power beyond which you can imagine. Strength and power which you haven't even fully tapped into yet. You've been handicapping yourself. You've been trying to run a race with one leg. Imagine what happens when you get your other leg. You'll beat all of these other people. Some of these people that are former addicts, people that are extremely into something, or that were into something, they become the most strong-willed people because they understand what it means to have resolve. Undying resolve that is willing to do whatever it takes to accomplish the mission. You have that deep inside you. Your job is to overcome these addictions because they are there for you, to benefit you. They are the obstacles that are creating the person that you're becoming. How do I know? Because I took these things out of my life and it made me a better person. It made me a type of person that is willing to do it no matter what. When everybody else was selling themselves into eating whatever they wanted, I was selling myself on my purpose, and I was selling myself on the fact that I don't give in. The fact that even if it's a holiday, I'm staying structured, I'm staying committed, I don't give in to this shit, because I'm the type of person that has resolve. And that's what you need to develop. Once I developed that, and once I transferred it from my addiction into my passion, I became unstoppable. And there's momentum here. Sometimes I forget where I came from, and sometimes you will too. And that's why it's important to keep this perspective in mind, so that when you forget where you came from, and when you start to judge other people, you remember that you should be strict with yourself and tolerant with others. Because they're where you are, and they are you. Just like I am you. So never forget that. Your job is to resist your desires. It is better to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles. Don't forget that. Peace.